Home-Based Business Network. We've been running this, we're sort of on the winding down with this year's session. So this is the August one. The host for this one is Gloucester County Economic Development, and we're very appreciative of them for getting everything lined up and getting our guest speaker lined up for today's session. This is a collaborative effort among all of your peninsula and sort of middle peninsula localities there with York County, City of Williamsburg, James City County, City of Hampton, City of Newport News, City of Poquoson, and again, Gloucester County as well. So we've been collaborating on this endeavor now for a number of years, and very pleased to bring it, as all of our localities have a very strong home-based business community, and we understand and appreciate the value of that. So today's presentation is going to be social media tips for home-based business owners. We're very pleased to have Tina Lester with us. She is with Southern Trade Realty. And with that, I'm going to stop sharing this particular presentation, and I will turn it over to Tina. And Tina, I will go ahead and get your presentation pulled up for you as well. How about that?
That sounds great. Thank you so much, Matt. Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to be with you guys today on this Lunch and Learn, and I feel very honored to have been asked to do this. I, again, am Tina Lester with Southern Trade Realty, and owner of a small business that I started along with the real estate, Tina Lester Home Staging and Design. I just wanted to go over some social media techniques that I prefer. I know there's tons out there. There's way more advanced ones than probably what I even use, but I wanted to go over the tips that I felt worked for me to get my start. Because when I started in the business that I'm in now, the first thing that I knew was that there's a gazillion realtors around, and I had to set myself apart from the other realtors. One thing that I also realized really quickly is how social media is such a window to so many people. The platforms are unreal, and it's just kind of like silly not to utilize the free marketing that we have to us to get the word out. And through social media, I give a lot of credit to that. And, you know, finding the niche in the beginning, which was my staging that I do for my clients, that was one thing. But how do I get that out to everybody to let them know, hey, this realtor is more than just a sign in the yard. She's really doing other things for her clients and staging. And I quickly found that there were certain things that I used in my business that really plays a role in anyone's home-based business. And it really, so the first year started out kind of getting my foot in the ground and starting out with the marketing. And then second year it was, already getting six-figure income rolling in. And I feel I give all that credit to the way that social marketing helps. So, and from there, I've just grown. And it is just amazing to me how just a few simple techniques can really get the word out there. Most of the business that I can draw in is through referral, through people seeing something that I posted on either one of the networks. And so it's proven to me that it works. I'm going to go over some things that I found that really helped me, but you may know all about what I'm going to teach anyway. So if you do, I'm thankful that you're listening anyway. But these are just the things that I wanted to share with you guys, and maybe it'll help. I don't know if there's any questions that you have. I'm happy to help. If I don't know the answer, I'm happy to look into it for you. But just any business owner, if you're home-based business, if you're, any organization, an individual, if you try to get that out there and you want to get people to know more about what's going on, these are the tips that I kind of wanted to point out. So we can go and get started if you want with the first slideshow, and I'll be talking as I go through this, and sometimes I ramble on and on, so hopefully that doesn't bother you. But the first slideshow, the first slide that you see here is what you want to ask yourself. This is what I always want people to understand, that what you're trying to do with social media is you're trying to answer these questions. Who are you and what can you do for me? A lot of people start getting on the social media websites and they start posting a lot of things that's kind of like, almost like, I guess just kind of, almost selling something, or you're trying to get them to pay attention to you, but why? What is it that you're going to offer to them? Most people are looking for, what can you do for me? So these are the questions that when you are using social media as any platform that you choose as your preference, that you want to answer. You know, you want them to know for sure who you are and what you're going to do. And then if you want to go to the second slide, Matt. Am I able to control that, or are you doing that? Okay. So these are the things that I always kind of want to pinpoint as well. You want to see the results, and the 3 C's for me is consistency, consider, and being creative. Going to consistency, one thing that really helps with the algorithm when you're working with social media is working with posts and trying to post around the same time frame. Trying to figure out which time frame works out best for you. And part of that is, you know, doing it not only every day if you can, and that's something we'll cover in a minute, but around the same time. And knowing that is also knowing your audience. So consider is knowing your audience. Like if you have a lot of friends that you know are working from, you know, 9 to 5, then you might get the majority of your following if you post before they go to work, maybe in the morning when they're scrolling through their phone or something while they're probably getting ready for work, or maybe late in the evening, maybe when everyone's getting home from work. I feel like that is important. Just know your audience, know who you're trying to attract with whatever business that you're trying to promote. You want to try to, with your post, intrigue them somehow and inspire them. Like a lot of things that I do with mine is I'll start to post a lot of things with my staging. I might do before and after photos just so they can see what I do, and I'm, you know, feeling, you know, of course, proud of my work, but also letting them know, hey, this does make a difference, and I can see how that could help me if I were to sell my house or whatever the business might be that you do. Being creative for me is, I should probably add another C and put cringy on there, because a lot of stuff that I do sometimes is just more for fun, but it's just trying to be creative and evoke curiosity when you do post something. So that's when you start using, like, I have fun with putting together a reel and put on Instagram, because I feel like Instagram, if you're using that as one of your platforms, you tend to get more attention if you're doing a reel. People like to see things in action, and it helps people get to know you kind of on a more realistic level. Okay, well, she's got a sense of humor, or she's, you know, or maybe it's just she is very cringy, and that makes it entertaining for me to watch that because I want to make fun of her. Whoever it is, doesn't matter to me. Whenever I'm posting, if it's to get the response of she's funny or she's ridiculous or whatever the publicity might be there, the fact that someone's interacting with me and that is going to promote myself as, you know, kind of like maybe like a fun business owner or whatever, but also it's with them seeing that, they're seeing my post, and they're seeing more than just my reels. At that point, they're seeing, you know, different things that I'm trying to post just about my business in general. So being creative, you know, for me is just something that I really do encourage you to do. Is, and then there are times when I don't know if I would have enough time to do this or not later, but I can even show you maybe how to put a reel together if you have any questions on that. Okay, so now I'm ready, Matt. We can go to the next one. Sorry about that. All right, so why you? So that's the other thing. Why would they want to use you? And I put on here, when you post in social media, try to think of ways to market yourself to be the chosen one. And that could be real estate, that could be a restaurant, that could be if you're, you know, whatever your business might be, you want them to choose you over someone else, because 9 times out of 10, you're not the only one doing what you're doing. And the key is to get them to pick you. So what can you bring to the table? What sets you apart from, you know, the thousands of realtors or the thousands of other people that might be in your same line of work? Do you have a niche of some sort? And then if you do, you want to market at the highest level. And if you don't, then think of something that you can do to relate, to maybe make your business stand out. So I just use this page as something, in real estate, for example, the one thing that I really did take off with was my professional home staging. That has been such a promoter for me, because for my clients, I don't even charge to do the staging. So I promote that like crazy, because I don't know many realtors that can offer that kind of service to somebody. In real estate world, like professional home cleaning could be something, someone that's a professional organizer, someone that can come in and declutter. These are not things that take, like, I mean, I did go to school for get my certification for the staging and design, but some of these other things you don't really need to go to school for. It's just learning that niche or promoting that. Social media marketing, if someone's good at social media. These are just giving examples of just what could apply to like my line of work. But when you're having your own business, you can look at that idea of like, what is it that I can bring to the table? What makes me different from anyone else? Why should they pick me? And kind of really research that and think about it. And when you figure that out, lean in on that and market that to the highest that you can. Make that be something that you market, a couple times a week at least. And we'll go into more about timing on that. Okay, go to the next one. So then I get asked a lot of questions about, well, how do you know what platforms, what works, what do you prefer? And it's choosing a platform to focus on is the most important thing to know, but it's based on your audience. Do you know most of your followers? Are they mostly on Facebook, or do they use Instagram? The first thing you want to make sure when you have a small business is you want to have a business page. And with Instagram, you can have the business page linked into a Facebook so they can connect, and you're posting once, but you're covering all bases with one click of a button. But if you don't have a business page for whatever business you're doing, that is definitely something that I would recommend that you look into as well. And that's important to link them to. It just saves you a little bit of time. On this little circle that you see here, just some research, it talks about the biggest platform, and I don't see the percentage here because it's little windows. Let me bring this down. So Facebook, 39.8% of the volume of people that are using social media are doing the Facebook primarily. So that is a big percentage. Then you have Instagram, and you see the TikTok has definitely taken off and been something that you see a lot of people doing. And then with Twitter. So any of those platforms, any and all, there's also others, and you can always use, different ones, but these are just the ones that I think are becoming like the go-tos. Facebook definitely is one of the bigger ones when it comes to outreach. Instagram is a bit tricky due to the algorithm, and that is something that I get asked about a lot, and it's hard to kind of figure that out, and it's trial and error for me. Sometimes I'll put something on and it could be 8,000 people will see it or do something or comment or whatever, and then sometimes it's 8, and I never can really figure out 100% like how to make that always be successful. But that is something that signals and automatically ranks the content that you're putting on there according to your reaction, and how likely the content will be liked or get interaction. I don't know if a lot of you do Instagram. I do find that I hate to say this, but it just seems like some of the younger ones are really big on the Instagram and not so much the, Facebook, but then vice versa. Some of the older generation, I guess, I don't even want to say that to, I don't, single anybody out, but that seems to be more for the Facebook users, but it can be variable. And what you want to try to do is, if you're trying to get your information out, I always suggest, just even if you don't get but a couple likes on a post or whatever, you putting that out there. People sometimes are streamers, like they will just kind of scroll through and they don't really take the time to like or comment, but they're seeing it. And one thing that you want to do, I always advise, is that you want your face to be the face that they think of when they think of whatever your small business might be. It might be, like I said, it could be just it could be a coffee shop or something like that. I don't, just whatever it might be, to put your face enough out there that if someone says, hey, for me, for example, I want it to be that if someone says, hey, do you know any realtors in the area? Because I put my face out there so much, whether it's, a funny video or whatever it might be, I want that to say, yeah, I know this girl, Tina, she I see her on social media, and she seems to like what she does. Maybe give her a call or something like that. So that's the whole thing about social media. It's like just free marketing, and I always say take full advantage of any platform. Okay, let's go to the next one. Let's see. Okay, I'm not sure where that one went, but let's go to the next one. That was just something thrown in there, I guess. Huh, that's interesting. Some of that didn't carry over, Matt, but I'll go back and fix that. So basically, how often for social marketing, I always think that a simple daily is kind of the recommendation that I try to live by that. It's hard sometimes because we do get busy and we get into our routines. I usually like to have something at least once a day. And it's not always that I do, but there's also ways that you can go through some of the programs we're going to talk about. And you can pre-program, you can pre-schedule, you can go through a calendar, get like a group of things post together. And then you can just go into like one of the, my favorite apps or favorite websites to use is something called Canva. And that is very easily done, where you can go in and do like a calendar planning, and you can just plug in everything and then it'll just automatically do it for you. So if you don't feel like you have time, if you pick one day just to put a bunch of little things together, it's real easy through Canva, and then you can just mark it into the calendar and it'll just do it for you. You schedule the time you want it posted and everything. It makes it very simple. Let me go to the next one. We're missing some things. I don't know if it just didn't get sent to you. Well, this is good. So this is we talked about some of what my personal ones that I use. Again, there's tons, and there's many, many, many things that you can get into, but these are the ones that I absolutely love for what I do. And I think it could pertain to anybody's business. The first app that I really love, and I have used it so much, is something called the Lightroom app. And that is for people that you want to post a lot of pictures, but you don't want them to look like they're just from your phone, and the lighting can be a little bit dark sometimes, or even of yourself. Like, I have to say that big thing that I'm thankful for sometimes is just adding some light can just enhance the photo that you're taking, and including the one of yourself sometimes. So Lightroom is an app that I've uploaded. And again, these things are not very expensive to have either. And I feel like they're worth every penny. But that is one thing that you can upload a picture, and there's presets, and you can go through each preset, and it just brightens up your picture and makes it look so much more professional than what you're taking with your phone. And if we have time at the end, I don't even mind like kind of showing you the difference with some of the photos that I've taken, and somehow see a question here from Julie Verdon Hillebrand. Sometimes I can't decide what to post. Is there a general guideline for content? Very good question. And I'm going to go over that with you too in just a little bit. A little rule of thumb that I follow. And I promise I won't forget, but I'm going to go over that a little bit on another slide. But that's a very good question, because I was always asking that too. I'm going to finish this one first and we'll go to that. So Canva, again, is the other one. I cannot praise Canva enough for everything that it does. Canva, through that one website, I really want to say that there's a way to get some of the information from there for free, but I believe I might pay $10 a month on that one. It is not expensive. And it is worth, oh my gosh, the things you can do on there, it's unreal. I can go over a couple, but all I would tell you to do if you are considering that is go on YouTube, look at Canva hacks, and look at all the stuff that you can do. And that can really make you just look so professional with everything that you're posting. And it makes it so easy. The templates are already there, and there's a million templates. I mean, you cannot go wrong. There's like a zillion of them. And all you have to do is upload a photo. It's very user-friendly. You upload your photo into Canva, and then you slide it over into the little box or whatever, and it can put your picture in there, and you can change the text. It's a little bit of just playing around with a little bit, but it's very user-friendly and inexpensive. You can do it even has a printing company attached to it that you can have your flyers printed out professionally if you wanted to, do brochures for your business. I thought it was a little bit pricey to do some of their printing work. So I usually will do my flyer or do my brochure, and then I will email it to UPS right here in Gloucester, and they print them out, and it's very inexpensive to do it that way. But there's so many things you can do with that. You can do presentations, you can do just pretty much anything that you can think of for your business through Canva. To me, it's a gold mine. If you're looking for ways to do easy marketing, just like the question was from earlier, you don't really know what to post. There is a way that you get on this website, and like I said, pre-plan everything. It's already spelled out for you. All you have to do is you can put in, I don't know what kind of business you have there, but if you could put in like design marketing or something like that, or fashion marketing, or anything that you do, and put it in there, and it will give you the stuff that you need, all of the marketing that you need for that. And all you have to do is personalize it with your picture that you've uploaded, or pictures that you've uploaded. Change the wording around a little bit to make it more personable for you. But any posting that I do, any kind of marketing for real estate, whatever it might be, an open house, whatever, I take from Canva, drag my picture over, hit click, done, download, upload, and then I've got it all over my social media. It's super easy, super affordable, and you can get ideas from there. I'm going to skip ChatGPT just for a second. We're going to go over that. But we're going to go over to Etsy. If Canva is something that you feel like you're not going to utilize enough, like maybe you don't, you can always try it for free too. I think there's a free trial just to see, but if you decide that's probably too much for me, I don't really need to have all that access to that marketing. Etsy is a very common, people probably aren't aware of this, and maybe you are, but I didn't know that they had as much on Etsy for the marketing as well. And a lot of it is tied into Canva, but the difference is with Etsy, if you're someone who just needs a little bit of marketing material now and again, and you don't want to commit to a membership every month, Etsy is something that you can do and plug in what you're looking for. For me, it was basically like I might put in open house marketing material or something like that, or whatever your business might be. They have everything there, and it'll give you options, and then you can upload a whole packet of marketing information for like $2, and then it'll direct you maybe to Canva to personalize it, but you don't have to have a membership with Canva to personalize it. And then you can use that method to print out if you're looking for something a little bit more cost effective, which the other one's not expensive either, but it is a commitment, it is a membership. This is a way to do it kind of on an as needed basis, but still get the same marketing material if you want to have that. Even if you're a business who wants to have, for a restaurant, for example, if you're a restaurant and you want to have like menus printed out, the menus are beautiful, and it's so user-friendly to put your information on there and make it your own. And it does take a little time. I usually spend Mondays, or I call them marketing Mondays. It's kind of like a day that I set aside to really work on what I'm going to post for the next week or so, and go ahead and get that ready and scheduled out or whatever. And sometimes I just do it manually myself, but I try to stick to like a morning of a day of the week and use that as my day to market. ChatGPT, artificial intelligence, is tending to be this this breakthrough of technology that I have used so much already, and I can't praise it enough. If we go to the next screen, I'll go into a little bit more in depth. I don't know how many of you have heard of it or use it already, and probably all of you have, but for those who haven't, I just want to go over it a little bit with you. ChatGPT is something that you can go on to you can Google just ChatGPT, and you can actually use it as a free service. And there are ways to upgrade to different levels of it. But for what I use it for, a lot of people are like, well, what is ChatGPT? And I just wanted to explain it here, that it's an advanced artificial intelligent language model developed by Open Artificial Intelligence. It's designed to engage in natural language conversations and provide prompt and relevant responses. And the reason I wanted that on there is because the key word for that is designed to engage in natural language conversations. It can put things together in the way that you and I would talk about it. It's not above, like it doesn't have, like we think of that and we might think I might have words that we don't normally use on a daily. It is amazing. It's everyday language, natural language, just what you and I would use on a normal daily routine. Different things you can do with that. Customer support is amazing for that, providing instant responses to customers' questions. If you have questions that come to you and you're kind of like, well, I really don't know the right way to answer that, or maybe how do I want to answer that? If you go onto ChatGPT, it'll pop up the screen to tell you to, log in. I think you do have to set up kind of an account with it, but it's not something you're paying for, the basic account that you can get. I've never paid a dime for it, and it's been amazing for me to use for what I do for my business. And I'll tell you how in just a second. But customer support is good because if somebody comes in and asks you a question, you're trying to figure out, just a basic answer that you want to, say it kind of the way you want it. And you can always go in and fine tune it how you want. I'm trying to give you an example. For me, I would say, like, I could put in there something simple like how to promote an open house, or what, for a big thing for me is listings for real estate home. If I've got a home that's coming up that I know that I can, what would take me a lot of time sometimes in putting a home on the market is coming up with the right verbiage to do in the description. And you see all of the ones that you see on the, when you're looking at a home, the listing description, some of them are real short and sweet, but I like to be a little detailed with mine, and it takes me a while to put it all together. So now with ChatGPT, what I can do, and I'm giving away some secrets here, but this is something that I love this part of it. I can put in there, give me a job description, give me a description of a house to list that's, 4-bedroom, 2-bath, in, Cape Cod home. And I kind of give a basic description, and it comes out with this long listing already, and it sounds beautiful. I've had people comment like, oh my gosh, your wording on your listings it's beautiful. And I'm kind of like just saying thank you, but it's really coming from this amazing technology that puts it in there for me. And then I can go in and I fine tune it how I want it and put my own little verbiage in there, but I don't have to spend 30 minutes of my time. We're all busy. We don't have time to probably spend hours on something like that. If we can cut out some of the time, we could use that time to be more successful in our business. So I've learned to take a little shortcut here and there, and that's one that I definitely utilize for myself. Another thing that you can use it for is content generation. I always think that it's so amazing. People often ask, and it was asked earlier about like social media captions. What captions should I use? What media, what content should I put in there? And if you're struggling, like another example for me, if I want to just say, I want to put a post about, give me 5 tips to selling a home. You can put into ChatGPT 5 tips to selling a home, and it prints it right out. And then you can use that into your own little however you want to market it, if it's through Canva, or come up with your own thing. And so the question was coming up about how do you know what to post? If you don't know what to post for your business, you can easily plug that question into this, and it will tell you exactly how to post something about your business. And you can do that every day. There's so many possibilities with that, but I wanted to, mention that this is, it's always, you can research it other ways too, but this is so easy. Idea generation, brainstorm for campaigns, content strategies kind of goes along with that. If you need ideas, if you're looking for just something creative, you can plug it into ChatGPT, and it's going to, give you all the answers. And you can also hit regenerate. If you don't like the answer that it gives you and you want something else, there's a button that says regenerate, and you hit that and it gives you another one. And you can just keep going through that until you get to the one that you feel like, okay, well, that's me. that's more my personality or whatever, and plug it in. Language translation, I'm not sure how many would really need that, but it's good to know that if you have a, bilingual, if you're not someone who can speak multiple languages, if somebody comes up to you and you don't know how to respond, you can put it in, how do you translate such and such, such and such, and it's going to give you the translation right there for it. So you can have that interaction with your client that may not be able to speak your language very clearly. Real-time interaction. What I love about this as well is plugging it in, you get the response right then and there. It's almost like, second, maybe 2 seconds, I don't know, but it's pretty fast response that you get. So that's one thing that I like too about it. It's very fast response. It's available 24/7. So regardless of when you're trying to use it, it is available. The scalability is good to know because it can handle a large volume of interactions simultaneously. So if you've got a lot of different things that you want to plug in there, you can just go ahead and there's no maximum volume to it. You plug it all in and then it's going to give you those responses. So this is one that I can't really praise enough. This is introduced to my world and it has been a game changer for me, a time saver, and asking about what do you post? I would say itemize it to what your business is, whatever it might be, and then things that you think might be good, like strategies in selling a home or some home staging tips, or something that pertains just to your business. I can only kind of give you what I'm using, but it just depends on what your business is. Let's go to the next screen and let me just see what we have. Marketing schedule. So this goes into when to do it, how to do it, what's the best routine. And I usually always just I try to say post something daily. Time is always an issue for all of us business owners. We're running around, we're trying to make things happen. I struggle with the time management myself. It gets really busy during the days. And sometimes I'll admit, sometimes I'm like, I'll get to it later. And then I never do. Because I get tired when I come home, or I've got something else that pops up in my schedule. Sometimes fall asleep early, whatever it might be. Sometimes I'll wake up like I didn't post like I was supposed to post. So I do try to get up and just try to get that the next day, or go ahead and pre-schedule if I can. It just helps me out if I know I've got a busy week coming up. The time, again, we talk about what your following is like, when their schedule is probably going to get you the most response, interaction. If you know that your followers, again, are working during the day, posting during the evening is probably better. I typically try to post around 7 to 8 on some of the social media. I tend to get the best response with that, but play around with it. You can try a few different times, maybe one week, try it in the morning and just see what gets you the best response that way. And then you can do it in the evening and just play around with that. And you'll know when you get the most feedback or response and interaction. And then once you figure that part out, try to stay with that time frame routinely each day, and that definitely will get the algorithm going. And try to stick with the same kind of content. And like, my rule of thumb on, I know for me personally, what works and what I have done studies on to kind of know that it works is I try to also connect with my following in a way that's personal as well. It's not about business. I'm not always trying to like push my business in your face. I want them to also connect with me on a personal level as well. So I have a ratio that I go by, and my ratio is 2 to 1. I try to do 2 posts about business related something. So it could be a video or a real video, or it could be something for me, for example, like a closing or a new listing or something like that. But somewhere in there, after I've done a couple of those, I try to put something in there personal, like maybe time with my family, or a coffee break, or something about my kids' football game, or somehow make it somewhat not about business, but something kind of about you, so they can connect to you on a personal level as well, and know that hey, this person's real. They're good people. They get to know kind of who you are, and if you're their kind of person to work with. And I think that's important as well too. Consistency is big, like we talked before, but that 2 to 1 ratio seems to be pretty good. And after doing some studies on that seems to work. pretty well getting the connection that you're looking for with people that are, on the social media platform. And then let's go to the next one. I know we missed one somewhere that I thought was really important, and that's the end of the questions, but there was one slide back there, and I don't know why it disappeared on that when it forwarded to you, but what I want to go over with that when I remember what it was. So I'm going to go over it a little bit for you, because I know we're getting ready to run out of time here soon, but the social media platform that we were kind of going over is basically the power of social media, the billions of people that are on the social media of one way or another every day and all day. It's amazing the volume of people that can be reached. And some things that have happened to me through what my business does is that I have reached people that are in California or other parts of the country that have seen something that I've posted just because I've, on the Instagram, you do your hashtag and you do your wording to connect, that have connected with me on that, and then are relocating to our area, and they've reached out to me to help them find homes. I've gotten a lot of business that way. So that page was just going over the power of social media and the fact that it's free. It takes time. It takes, consistency, but it's free marketing, and there's so many, possibilities. There's other things out there too, but those are the ones that I found that worked for me. But I guess for that part, I welcome any questions. Does anybody have anything that they want me to kind of elaborate on, or
yeah. So everybody can feel free to put any questions in the chat. If it's okay, Tina, I actually had a couple questions that sort of came to mind when we were talking about things. I really liked where you said that you want to make sure that you're getting people intrigued.
Yeah.
Give us an idea of what is something you would do that you consider is, intriguing along those lines. How there's different ways I think that people can do that. But
right.
What's one or two things that you found that has worked sort of for you along those lines?
Well, for my business, one of the things that a couple things that I'll mention on that is that part of my niche was the staging. And then sometimes I'll go into a home and I'll do like before and after photos so they can get involved in this is what she's doing. She's taking kind of a blank slate, or maybe it'd be like the house is not in the best condition, and I'll go in and help correct that for the listing, and then I can show the after photos. And I think people have tuned in a little bit to that part of my job is kind of interesting to a broad area of people that want to see what's the before and after look like? What did it look like here? The other thing that I do to kind of, I feel like intrigue them is I do take you to work with me days, where I will do little reels where I'm kind of doing let's say a showing for a property. And I'll take you with me and I'll record a little bit, and then I'll kind of video the going into the house. I'll do a house tour, kind of take you around. And it's the interaction with the people that, in my field, it's easy. I don't know about every business, but in my field, people like houses. They like to look at houses. Some people just like to be a little nosy. What does that house look like? I want to know, but it's not really that they have a purpose to do it themselves. So it gives them sort of a view of these properties that I'm doing. And so I call it Take You to Work With Me Day. And I take you along for their ride and take you through what a house showing might look like and things like that, just to kind of interact with the people that are following me.
Okay. And then another question that I had, you've talked about making sure that you're also, it's not just about the business, that you're bringing in some of the personal side of who you are into what you're doing. And I think this is one thing that a lot of home-based business owners look at, especially as they say, okay, well, how much personal should I really inject into this type of thing? I mean, are there some hard and fast lines that you think are really, just need to be put into place along those lines? Or, are you sort of just, it depends on each person's, what their take is for how much information they're willing to share personally?
I think that's a really good question. So it's very often that you might know on Facebook and a business page are two different things. So sometimes Facebook lets you into a little bit more depth when someone's family, like people post everything. They want to post what they had for dinner that night. They want to post, every little step of a vacation or whatever. And I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think on a business page, like something, for example, might be, for me, I would post something like my son, his football game. I'll take a picture of my son and I, and like, let him know this is my son, or a picture of my daughter and things like that. But I don't really, on my business page or what's linked to my Instagram, I don't really go into too much detail with personal stuff, just enough that they connect, like, this is my family. This is, we have, if we did a trip, I might put like one photo on there, like fun vacation with the fam or something like that. But I guess it just depends on each individual's personal preference, what you want people to know and what you don't want them to know. Just what are you comfortable with them knowing about you? And if it's okay to just, I don't know, somehow I do feel like the personal connection is important, as well as just always kind of pushing your business, like we understand, like, I know people think, okay, we get it, you're a realtor, we get it, you do this, whatever, but well, who are you as an individual? And I think that's important when you're promoting your business.
Yeah. It looks like Nikki has a question. She says,
Okay.
do you recommend a group page? And I think she's talking about like Facebook group pages. Nikki, you can jump in if I'm wrong on that, but do you recommend sort of creating a group page?
I've never created a group page, but there are so many group pages out there that if you were to go into, let's say that's already created, small business owners or something like that, they have great ideas. Part of what I do with my work is I'm part of a Buffini and Company. That's part of who I do my CRM through. And then they have a group that I think has been very helpful to my work, because through there, you might get people to say, hey, does anybody work in this Hampton Roads, Virginia area? I've got a client that's relocating. Does anybody, work there? And I can look at that and pick up on it and say, hey, yeah, I do. And we make connections like that. So creating a group page on Facebook is a brilliant idea to try to get more people in your network if you wanted to do that. And then you'll get people connecting to your business from all over through that, or joining one if you don't want to go through creating one. But I think that's a great idea. Sometimes you get some of the best ideas just from brainstorming other people's ideas. So there's definitely some positive effect in doing that.
Okay, great. All right. Thanks, Nikki.
Thank you, Nikki.
I don't see any other questions right now. Tina, I didn't know if there were any last thoughts that you had. If not, I can give everybody the heads up about next month's Lunch and Learn. It's up to you.
Well, the only thing that I was going to say, and I don't know if this is of anyone's interest, I am happy to go over some things that we talked about, but maybe not able to really show you really how it is. But my information, if somebody wants to take down this information, I don't know, am I allowed to do that, just to kind of connect?
Sure.
So I'll give you my email address, and you can send me an email. And if there's anything that I could show you, if you're interested in how do you do these reels and how do you do these videos and put these things together, or show me some things that how Canva works, or if you need anything that I can help you with, feel free to reach out to me. My email address is Lester, and I'm sorry to put this on a slideshow. I mean, part of the slideshow, but tlester4@cox.net. And that's TLESTER and the number 4@cox.net. And just reach out to me. I'm happy to go over anything more detailed. This is just kind of touching base on some things, but it's fun. It's time consuming, but it's fun. And I definitely, I'm a big believer in it. Like I said, I started out with a brand new career after working in a medical field for 20 years, and a brand new career that I had to start from scratch and didn't know where to go. And I give full credit to what social media has done for me just to get the word out. I'm a big believer. So anything that I can do to help, just please let me know, reach out. I don't mind at all. And I just